I'm Antonio, I'm 19 years old, I do asphalt.
Hey guys, I'm at work, it's 4:41 and I leave at 5, so I gotta hurry up and get this wheel liner in.
In 2025, something strange is happening in the job market. Nearly 4 in 10 Gen Z adults say they are working in or seriously pursuing a trade job. That includes people with college degrees who were told their future was in offices, not workshops. For decades, a degree was seen as a golden ticket, proof of intelligence, status, and stability. But suddenly, those rules do not apply. AI is not just changing work, it is flipping the social hierarchy upside down. The same technology that once promised smarter jobs is now quietly erasing them.
Google, Amazon, and others announced cuts earlier this month.
PayPal is the latest company to announce job cuts, slashing around 9% of its global workforce.
The market has really rewarded companies that announced layoffs.
The people everyone used to overlook, the welders, electricians, and plumbers, are now earning more than many office workers. So how did we get here? How did a generation raised on laptops and student loans end up trading spreadsheets for steel? Let's rewind, because this story did not start with AI. It started decades ago when college was still seen as the only path to success. For most of the last century, a university degree was more than education. It was identity. In the 60s and the 70s, factory floors ran America, but the children of those workers were told to aim higher, get a degree, work in an office, and you will never struggle like we did. By the 1980s, that message became gospel. College was no longer optional. It was the only respectable route. Ads, politicians, and even sitcoms sold the same dream. Success came in a suit and tie. Trades like plumbing or construction were branded as backup plans. And for a while, that dream worked. The service economy exploded, and white-collar jobs promised stability, benefits, and prestige. Meanwhile, blue-collar work was painted as physically demanding, outdated, and less intelligent. But beneath the surface, the system was already shifting. Corporations began outsourcing labor overseas, routine office tasks got standardized, computers started doing the boring stuff faster and cheaper than people could. What no one realized back then was that the next machines wouldn't stop at the factory gates. They'd come straight for the cubicles. And when that happened, the definition of a safe job completely changed. When AI first showed up in offices, most people shrugged it off. After all, automation was supposed to take factory jobs, not college-educated ones. But this time, it didn't target assembly lines, it went straight for the desk. By the early 2020s, AI models could write emails, analyze reports, build presentations, and even design software in seconds. Tasks that once took teams of professionals now took a single algorithm and a laptop. Companies realized they could do more with fewer people, and suddenly, corporate efficiency became a polite way to say layoffs. Reports showed that around 30% of all office work could be automated by 2030. Tech giants and banks began trimming staff not just at the bottom, but across entire departments. Paralegals, analysts, copywriters, even junior coders, roles once thought untouchable, started disappearing. And the irony? AI wasn't replacing the jobs people didn't want. It was replacing the ones they went into debt for. Meanwhile, millions of degree holders were stuck in limbo, overqualified, underpaid, and watching software do their work faster. The old promise that a college degree guarantees stability began to collapse right in front of them. Because while AI could process numbers and text with inhuman precision, there was one thing it still couldn't do: turn a wrench, wire a house, or build a bridge. And that's where the tables started to turn. As office lights dimmed, something unexpected started happening on the other side of the economy. The jobs everyone once ignored, plumbers, welders, electricians, and construction workers, suddenly became some of the most secure and best-paying careers in America. While corporate salaries stalled, blue-collar wages started climbing. Between 2020 and 2025, construction worker pay jumped nearly 18%, and in states like California, skilled plumbers were averaging close to $100,000 a year. Electricians in places like New Jersey weren't far behind. At the same time, demand skyrocketed. Infrastructure projects, housing shortages, and the push for clean energy created an explosion of openings that machines simply couldn't fill. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projected 11% job growth for electricians and 6% for plumbers by 2033, well above average, and people took notice. Trade schools and apprenticeship programs filled up faster than ever. On social media, young creators began showing off their trade jobs and six-figure paychecks. We are flipping the script on what success looks like. What used to be seen as dirty work is now seen as smart work. Stable, well-paid, and automation-proof. The people who once felt left behind by the economy are now the ones running it. But the real story isn't just about money, it's about mindset. Because the generation leading this shift grew up being told to do the exact opposite. For decades, parents and teachers preached the same rule: go to college, get a good job, and you'll be set for life. But Gen Z isn't buying it anymore. They've seen older siblings graduate with $100,000 in debt, only to land entry-level jobs that pay less than a plumber or electrician. Instead of chasing a framed diploma, many are chasing financial freedom. Apprenticeship programs cost under $10,000 and let students earn while they learn. No dorm rooms, no student loans, and no waiting 4 years to start making money. Surveys now show about 60% of young people believe trade jobs are more respected than they used to be, and 70% say stability matters more than status. Even among degree holders, more are switching to hands-on work that offers control over their time and their pay. This is not just a career choice, it is a quiet rebellion against a system that sold security but delivered uncertainty. They are asking tougher questions. Why spend years learning theories you will never use? Why fight for jobs that AI can do faster? And why stay broke just to look educated? For Gen Z, this shift is not about rejecting ambition, it is about redefining it. And that mindset is spreading fast because what started as a financial decision is quickly turning into a cultural movement. For years, success meant sitting behind a screen, not holding a tool. But in 2025, that image is cracking. The so-called dirty jobs are becoming symbols of freedom, independence, and real-world value. The kind of life most office workers only daydream about. Online, this new pride is everywhere. TikTok and YouTube are flooded with creators showing their six-figure welding salaries, home renovation businesses, and van life independence. They are not flexing Ivy League degrees, they are flexing control. Meanwhile, the corporate dream that once looked glamorous now looks exhausting. Remote work, blurred work-life boundaries, layoffs, shattered loyalty, and AI stripped the creativity out of so many jobs. For many, a desk now feels like a cage. Blue-collar work, once dismissed as old school, now represents something refreshing: purpose. You can see what you have built. You can measure your progress in something tangible. And most importantly, it can't be replaced by code. The status hierarchy is reversing in real time. The plumber with his own business might out-earn the marketing manager. The electrician can take weekends off while the analyst answers emails at midnight. And this shift isn't just about money, it's about meaning. For the first time in decades, people are asking themselves, what's actually more valuable, a title or a trade? Because the truth is, the new economy doesn't reward degrees, it rewards skills. And that simple fact is reshaping how an entire generation defines success. What's happening right now isn't just an economic shift, it's a complete reordering of how society measures worth. For decades, we've lived by one unspoken rule: brain work beats handwork. But AI just flipped that upside down. Machines can now do what we call smart. Analyze data, draft contracts, write reports, faster and cheaper than humans ever could. That doesn't mean humans are obsolete. It means the definition of valuable work is changing. The jobs that depend on physical presence, instinct, and real-world skills are becoming more valued. Problem solving, the ones AI cannot fake, are suddenly priceless. And that's not limited to plumbing or construction. We are seeing a rise in wind turbine technicians, solar engineers, mechanics, and repair specialists, people rebuilding the backbone of modern infrastructure. According to forecasts, millions of workers will need to transition out of white-collar roles by 2030, and most of them will move into jobs that cannot be automated. The irony? The most future-proof careers might look a lot like the ones our grandparents had. This shift also exposes something deeper, the illusion that intelligence equals value. In a world where algorithms outperform college grads, what really matters is adaptability, the ability to do what machines cannot. And as AI continues to evolve, one thing is becoming clear. The next decade will not just separate industries, it will separate those who can use technology from those replaced by it. Because the future of work isn't about escaping labor, it's about redefining it. For decades, technology was built to make life easier, to replace the muscle, not the mind. But somehow it ended up doing the opposite. AI did not take the factory jobs first, it took the office ones. Now, the people who were once told to avoid blue-collar work are the ones thriving in it. The same hands that build, wire, and repair our world are suddenly the most secure part of the economy. It is ironic, is it not? We spent half a century chasing degrees and digital titles, only to realize the future might belong to those who never left the trades. Because when machines can think, the smartest move is not to compete with them. It is to do what they can't. So maybe the real revolution is not in AI at all. Maybe it is in us, in how we redefine what it means to work, to create, and to matter. Because the truth is, the blue-collar worker was never behind. They were just waiting for the world to catch up.